Chat, here we go. You guys are staring at a black screen, but I get to watch the content. You'll be here soon. It's Daniel and aZapatos in round one of the playoffs. The quarterfinal, I should really say, not call it round one. These two guys not winning their pool, but not getting last. I mean, they did not get eliminated in pool play. They are here now to work their way through the playoffs. Daniel gonna score first, rocking the endpoint Fennec today. aZapatos, can you believe it, in his classic Sentio. I'm not sure we've seen him play anything else but this Sentio. We'll see if he can get a quad reset on Daniel today like he did against First Killer. Daniel moving to endpoint. Yeah, I think it can be confirmed. Daniel using the endpoint Fennec does mean he will be on endpoint shortly. People seem to really like the endpoint Fennec and the Carmine Corp Fennec. Well, let's talk a little bit about these two players if you happen to be here for the first time. If you haven't heard of Daniel yet, that does surprise me slightly, but you never know how much Rocket League experience people have had checking out the videos. Daniel is a now 16-year-old RLCS pro. Started on the stream a long time ago, and many consider him to be the best 1v1 player in North America. So a bit of a surprise that he loses out to Chronic in pool play and ends up dropping to this lower portion of the bracket. aZapatos is a player you maybe hadn't heard of, but now recently, I feel like aZapatos is starting to become a household name. He is rocking the Sentio, known mostly for doing that and for his dashing around the field. Has a knack for using wave dashes to their absolute maximum extent and loves to stay around on the ball instead of ever retreating. Daniel up 3-0 at the start of this game. He has been dominating early. aZapatos had a tough time against First Killer as well in his previous round that we had on stream. Could not seem to get anything going, and it took him a couple full games before he started to get any real offense. And by then it was too late. First Killer had sent him into that final round of the pool play where he was forced to get a win over Wisty in order to still be around today. aZapatos trying to intercept Dan on the wall. Did a good job of killing the 50, not allowing any movement, and following it up for a fourth goal. Lowercase D N is what Dan has his name as today. SSG DN. Daniel has just been racking up the shots. If we look at the scoreboard, 8 shots to 2. aZapatos has saved a couple, but for the most part, he hasn't been able to slow Daniel down. It is a best of 5 here in this quarterfinal. All matches will be best of 5 until we get to the grand final. That one will be best of 7. Not a long time to adjust in these best of 5s. But certainly enough time to discover which of the two players is playing better on the day. aZapatos will finally break through with his first goal. Low boost, but great placement. Daniel felt like he had to get up to try and make a save on that shot that was actually slightly high. Kickoffs will be so important. aZapatos mostly sticks to his wave dash kickoff. Normally good enough at it to put people in a tough spot the entire game. That is an own goal as Daniel stays grounded, basically testing aZapatos, saying, I don't think you can get a shot off that I can't save, and ended up being right. Calculated, says aZapatos. But really it was Daniel calculating that he's better off staying grounded off the chance that aZapatos misses high. Therefore, he could then take in a free goal, whereas if he felt the need to try and save it, he might have jumped and taken away his opportunity to score one so easily. But aZapatos, a second goal after Daniel tries to wave dash and deep into the corner. Oh, we had somebody redeem another VIP. I just saw that 2 minutes ago. That is an insane redemption of channel points. VIP is not easy to get. aZapatos, a third goal. He's maybe not out of this one. 3 Louis 11 redeemed VIP. Is that Eloy? Is the 3 supposed to be an E? Eloy, did you get a couple good predictions in a row correct? Or maybe a long time grinder just running up those channel points? aZapatos, fortunate bounce for him to take control of the ball. But couldn't hold on to it very long, not with very little boost. Nice interception here from aZapatos. This is the kind of aggression you need to see from him, especially considering it's just a good idea in general not to let Daniel take his wall to air dribbles. aZapatos there after the first touch. Now within 2. It's Louis, is that right? Even though the 3... Oh, it's scrolled off the screen now. I can't see the name anymore. But aZapatos, full field dribble. Is he going to try and go for a bump to take Daniel out? That is usually one of the more consistent ways to finish those setups. He did not go for that this time around. Now is he going to be able to get underneath this ball, or start to say in front of this ball before Daniel pops it over him? It doesn't seem like it. Looks like Daniel's trying to hit some zap dashes as well. We saw AJ play completely in aZapatos' car in an attempt to match him, and maybe Daniel trying to show off that he's capable of the same kind of dash. Daniel, another high lob to himself. She meets up above the crossbar to lob towards aZapatos. aZapatos to death, and can Daniel get around this with only 14 boost? Shot is weak enough. aZapatos does have the recovery on the respawn, but I don't think he's going to be able to turn this around for a goal, and he'll need to follow it up with a couple quick kickoffs. Daniel, maybe if he whiffs, it makes it possible, but he's back to the top corner before the shot comes. So aZapatos going down early again. Cannot afford to take a long time to get started. This is an interesting shot that ends up going in. I think aZapatos didn't get a touch. There's that zap dash I was talking about. Daniel yet to really do it in a relevant position, but there's almost like a fake shot by aZapatos as he air rolls and flips his car towards the ball. It looks like he's trying to go near post, but then he ends up moving past it and only touching it in the last second, which ends up putting it behind Daniel. Actually, pretty creative shot for that goal. But Daniel wins game number 1. Up early. Sunless Khan was chilling with some lo-fi vibes today earlier. Hope you guys are excited for some competitive vibes now. Rocket League 1v1 doesn't get more intense than that. Daniel's going to immediately retake the lead at the start of game number 2. aZapatos hoping for a boost spawn there, and then slowed down but didn't fully commit. Probably needed to fully commit if he wanted the backflip challenge. But instead, he came to a stop and then let Daniel partially come to him. He needed to just go all in if he wanted to do that. Surprising, aggressive play. Daniel lining up where he thought aZapatos would be trying to retreat to after picking up boost. aZapatos does escape, though. He needs to put a goal on the board, I think, early to show that he can match Daniel, instead of letting Daniel take this out of hand. Long shot from Daniel. He loves to do this to people. As mechanical as Daniel is, he will get you with power shots as well. He sees aZapatos looking to creep up the side wall and try and intercept his air dribble. You noticed earlier that aZapatos actually got an easy goal that way. So what does Daniel do? He cuts it back to the ground and then just rockets the ball across the field at a pace that aZapatos looks dizzy watching. He literally flipped upside down and never stood a chance at stopping the shot. aZapatos sees the early challenge, flicks over it, and is actually not going to need an additional touch. He's kept it underneath the crossbar. It will be a first goal. It took him much longer to get his first goal in the previous game. And this is the same kind of trend that we saw playing another top North American 1v1er. from him earlier, but he needs to get going much quicker. aZapatos, crazy power slide cuts. Problem for him is Daniel never fully committed to a save, so he was just snaking around. Wait, look at this shot from Daniel. He was going to score it pretty much no matter what, but he ended up getting the reset, I think, as aZapatos comes to challenge him. And then he just has to use it so far away from the ball, but connects with it to tap it in for a third. Daniel, oh my goodness, the slight cadence change on this almost made it possible to score that. I didn't think that there was any chance, but the slight delay brought aZapatos in a bit, and wow, aZapatos looked nowhere close to this one. Daniel just sets it up near post. aZapatos, who was thinking about maybe going for the corner boost, recognizing way too late that that's a massive mistake, does not make it back in time. Solid kick up for aZapatos. Letting the ball force him into the ground. Interesting pre-flip into that flick. Got a ton of power off of it, but not with much purpose, as it creates so much separation between him and the ball that he can't really get back to it to make a continuation. Daniel is so quick. I mean, Daniel even gets bumped here at the start of this play, I'm pretty sure. But he is back up before aZapatos can even think about clearing it away. The Bismillah flick. Yeah, that's right. I think that's exactly what a Bismillah flick is. Right after the Sunless Khan raid, aZapatos hits one. aZapatos sees Daniel coming to challenge early, and this kind of erratic behavior somehow still works out for Daniel. Everything's going his way right now. It is not conventional to side flip immediately as your way to start a challenge. It's such a hard commit type approach that aZapatos should be able to read, and yet still he couldn't control the ball in time to do anything about it. Well placed shot here from aZapatos, but Daniel in and out of the net. So comfortable in that defensive position. Didn't lose a single bit of height in the process of getting that secondary save, and he's just going to reset this one in because I guess he feels he can't get the save. aZapatos, a lob of a shot. Daniel kills the bounce on this dribble. Not normally ideal. You want to keep a little bit of vertical movement on it. Daniel's not going to score this one, but he is playing a bit of keep away. aZapatos needs this one and a few more to make it back. But right now, if Daniel is prepared in net, aZapatos, there's that dash from Daniel again. Was that a Bismillah flick? Wait, you guys ran a poll to see if it was? Pretty sure that's what it is. It's a pre-flip flick in the air, but it's usually off a reset, I think. Don't you have to get a reset and then flick it with the pre-flip flick? Daniel fakes the musty. Ends up chipping the ball a bit too high, but he actually keeps it up in the air and follows it up for a 7-2. I think Daniel would have preferably just killed this completely and had it roll in immediately. But considering how it's Daniel, he had absolutely no trouble hitting it off the backboard. aZapatos cutting this back in front of the orange net, giving himself a dribble. Daniel is just showing that he can zap dash. He's just sitting on the other side of the field, zap dashing around, just to make a point, I believe. But he ends up leaving the net completely open. I guess not completely open. To be fair, he was still doing a pretty decent job of covering it, but all aZapatos has to do is pop it up high to make it past him. aZapatos, one reset. The second reset into the carry does not get enough movement. Daniel holding on to power slide as he smoothly rolls out of net. I have a feeling Daniel feels comfortable in this series right now. aZapatos wants to take this to the back corner. Is Daniel going to let him? Daniel's chasing him down, actually taking his setup and bringing it to the other side of the field. No boost respawn for him. It actually comes right after he gets that setup. aZapatos faking the touch. Does not lead to a shot attempt. Daniel sees it's bouncing off the post and lets it come off for him to take. aZapatos. Another shot sent to the backboard by Daniel. Can he get in this one? He cannot. aZapatos finds it over the top of him. Daniel setting up his shadow perfectly horizontal. Does make it really hard for him to get up to make that kind of save. But with 10 seconds left to go, it seems like Daniel feels confident that he's got the win. Will Daniel give us one more shot attempt to end? He just booms the ball over the top of aZapatos. The fact that he gets away with that, I mean, I don't know if in a different context he would have tried to get a better angle on that, or if he did just try and shoot that and missed, but only Daniel is hitting shots like that. Game number 3. Daniel and aZapatos. aZapatos, what a cut to start. The first lead of the series for him comes at the start of game number 3. Can he manage to hold on to it? What a great cut. I mean, that's a nice shot to start it off for him. Thank you, Daddy Muffin Puff, for the brand new Tier 1. Much appreciated. Daniel looking to put this inside the right side of the net over the top of aZapatos, who chases down the ball. I thought for a second there aZapatos might just look to demo Daniel, who was a bit stagnant on the other side of that ball. Sometimes it can make sense to just ignore the ball and delete the other player. aZapatos did just win a 50 and then be a bit overzealous in the corner. I mean, don't know what he was hoping for, jumping off, trying to get that read on Daniel's play. Yo, Eloy, thank you for the Tier 1, the brand new Tier 1. Also, the VIP in the channel. I think we now only have 2 VIPs since the community reset them. They're very expensive now. Nobody has dared do a coin flip yet. Not with how much the coin flip costs now. Louis? Wait, what? I mean, we'll have to give me a session. If it's a Middle Eastern fan, then there probably is a special way to say the 3, right? And then I'll just need some coaching. Daniel, it took him about a minute, but he's already back in the position he's been in all series long with the lead. Yeah, the coin flip VIP is you use up all your points, and the result is either you get VIP at half price or you get a 2-week ban. And of course you lose all your points, so you have to regain them up again. aZapatos could not get this out of a shooting position. Thought he did enough and dove to grab some corner boost and recover, but Daniel still gets a pass. Great kickoff win. I actually think aZapatos needs to wait a bit longer to do that final flip. Doing it early makes it easy for Daniel to read. Fake flick is what we'll call it, as aZapatos finds a way. And oh no, he doesn't! He gets stopped on the post. He's going to still score it, though. aZapatos' soft flick is the answer, apparently, as Daniel, expecting a bit more power, ends up falling out of position. And aZapatos puts himself within 1. Direct kickoff goal. Yes! aZapatos all tied up. It will be a wave dash kickoff. aZapatos again, this time undercutting Daniel. Works conveniently to keep him even farther out of the play. This time no undercut, but still a much faster rush to the midfield boost. Daniel's going to go all the way back to the corner. Can aZapatos bring out that flick? He loves that turn right, flick left with that Sentio. A psycho double sends the ball all the way back to the other half, but not really the best idea to hit those kind of psychos in ones, unless it's going to go directly in net without the defender around. Otherwise, you're just handing the ball back to the other player. And what does Daniel do with that? Well, he starts a wall-to-air dribble and a really strong first touch off the ceiling. Daniel sees how close that aZapatos is shadowing him and sticking around, which means Daniel needs movement fast in order to get past him. And then all he has to do is keep it ahead of him, which is what happens when he hits the ball so strong off the wall and then follows it up. Free flip flick from Daniel. It's a pretty impressive shot, but aZapatos keeps it out. aZapatos gets no connection as he turns around the ball on the wall. Daniel is gifted an easy one. Oh, aZapatos makes it back. Daniel did use his flip to get there as early as possible after popping over aZapatos, but aZapatos and his dashing self found a way to stay relevant in the play. Daniel avoiding the bump attempt. Did not get a favorable 50 here, but aZapatos misses. He was definitely trying to line up the long shot to keep the ball ahead of Daniel's recovery, and instead he hits the back wall. aZapatos has another opportunity now, though, and I don't think he's missing this one. It's too free. Daniel flipping with very little boost deep in the half of aZapatos. Has to connect with the ball if he doesn't want to be caught in second place in a race back to his net. Daniel pre-flipping out to the ball. Another pass to himself off the back wall. Can he score off of it? aZapatos can't get there, and it's in. Daniel knows that he doesn't need a ton of boost to work with. If he gets smart touches in his own half, he can set up his offense and score a single pad. aZapatos seems like he got a bit ahead of himself. As he tried to set up that dribble on the wall, he just went right past the ball without getting a touch. It's a smooth catch by aZapatos, but he rolls into a flick when it seems like Daniel was baiting him into that. And now he just passed the ball to Daniel. That is quite the assist. Daniel is chilling out ahead of the play, and aZapatos just gives it to him. So I'm not sure what he's hoping for, like what he's hoping to happen after that. But of course, Daniel is just going to take your pass and score it. Daniel not going to be able to steal this corner boost. He gets aZapatos to miss, threatening a bump attempt. aZapatos takes an awkward angle. You see how Daniel was lining up right where he expected aZapatos to turn to. So as aZapatos turns to make a play on the ball, that was right where Daniel was going to be, which is why aZapatos kind of jumped and tried to avoid an imaginary car, because Daniel never actually finished off the bump attempt. But that positioning is what made aZapatos miss. And now Daniel with a 7-4 lead. A failed aerial. Doesn't seem to matter if aZapatos can't find a serious spark at the end of the game. He's just going to try and use the pogo to get it. But Daniel never leaving any space open in net, it seems. So solid on defense. These two playing for a chance to go against Chronic in the semifinal. Wait, no. Or is it AJ? I believe they're playing to play against AJ, right? Daniel, the double. I should know the format of my own tournament, but exclamation point bracket can give you the answer, and we'll check it out here soon. But yeah, it's AJ, because AJ won the other pool. Daniel, he gets a sweep over the shoe. A GG well played from him. Daniel moves on, makes it into the big prize pool portion of the tournament.